So hi guys, now we're just waiting for the notification, everything to go. Uh, to give us a minute while we get our guest. So yeah, our guest has joined, and let me just give him a minute. Hi,
Hi.
hi. So welcome to the TKB Bench podcast. And for the guy people who don't know, let me introduce our guest. Our guest is director Sarjun. He has made a very influential piece of work, many influential piece of work, but uh, one of my favorite influential piece of work he's done is a movie called Lakshmi, his short film. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it. And ever since I watched it, I was very intrigued about it. I never thought I would be given the opportunity to sit and talk to the director, and I really appreciate this opportunity you've given us. And it's a very important movie for me. I really wanted to talk to the director, and it's amazing I have the opportunity now.
Thank you. Thanks for calling me.
Oh, thank you for joining us. Uh, so we have a lot of questions, and one of the most important questions I have is, what are your personal struggles for you to come up in this industry, and uh, what are struggles that you think you have endured, like in your industry, that is unique to your industry?
Actually, I haven't come up yet. I'm still in the process of coming up. Yeah, but struggles as such, I think it is there in any art field you come inside. There is struggle because there are like hundreds and thousands of people waiting outside, and the opportunities what we get is too less here, and
Mm.
only out of the thousands and 10,000s, only 10 or 15 make it. And we see their success and we think that okay, it's all easy, but when you start the journey, it is going to be really tough. And I think it's like uh, a lot of things come into play when it comes to success here. It is not just one thing. Generally the journey is quite long, especially when it comes to this filmmaking as such. It's almost like you spend like a quarter of your life here inside to even reach that place. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen in any other industry, but it happens here. A lot of people lose their patience in between and then they just leave, they quit. A few stand through time and then they come out successfully. So in that case, I think it's more of the patience, the perseverance. I mean, the usual stuff, whatever they say to come up, that has to be there for sure. You can't even this thing. Apart from that, there is something called endurance. Endurance is something you really need in this industry to wait and then hit for the chance. It just tests your patience like anything. You have to it just tests your all your qualities, and at one point all of a sudden somewhere you get a chance and then you have to make
Mm.
it work, and then you just have to come up, and it's not that you're going to be consistent there. You will again go down, again come up. So the graph is never it's a straight line there. It's always up and down. It's a sine curve there. Yeah, so the journey is really tough, but it all depends on where what you want to see yourself, how you want to see yourself. So generally in an interview they'll ask, right, how do you see yourself from 5 10 years? In cinema alone you have to ask, how do you see yourself 25 years from now, 20
Oof.
years from now? Yeah, so it's not that. It's never the short period is doesn't work here. Yeah.
uh, Another question I have upon your short films is, now that you've made these short films which are very outspoken, which are very daring, what is was there any fear getting into it, or you seem like an artist who really cares about what you say rather than what you get back in return? Is this true, or?
uh until Lakshmi release, I was not that kind,
Oh,
because
wow.
I never thought that it will create a sound. It'll
Huh.
make sound. I never thought it, because it was just made because I was just free, didn't do much in life, so I wanted to do something. So that's how I made Lakshmi.
Wow.
And I didn't release it for 1 year. I released it only after 1 year after the production. So
Hmm.
it's not that I had a plan like how to get inside, what to do. So it just happened. And even after releasing, it was not received as a as a viral work. I mean, all of a sudden one night morning I just wake up to see that the views have raised from 30,000 to 2 million.
Yeah.
Overnight it just happened, and after that it just gone viral. And I was actually, to be honest, I was scared to see the attention. That attention was not something that I was expecting, so I was scared. But then friends, people around, the support, like, yeah, I had to, because uh, like in a week, in a period of 1 week, I got like some 10,000 messages, 500 phone calls, so which has never happened previously. It just
Yeah.
happened. So then I thought, okay, fine. So when you're going to conceive an idea that normally what people don't talk outside, probably they're hesitant to talk outside. Definitely, it will be received either negatively or positively. That is different, but definitely it will be received. And that is how I made Ma also.
Ah.
I made Ma after 3 months after Lakshmi. So it was because it was done under Ondraga banner under director Gautam Menon.
Hmm.
So he pushed me to make Ma immediately. He said, "You have released Lakshmi now, just make one more, so that people know that you're consistent. Otherwise, they shouldn't think that you're hitting a fluke with Lakshmi." He said, "Come on, do one more." So immediately, next 2 months, we came up with the concept, we shot it, and then we released. That got different kind of reviews. It was not like Lakshmi. Yeah. So I am a person. Definitely, I have my own hesitations when I select a subject. But in the end, if you want to stand out, there is no other way. You need to come up with something daring that not people talk about outside. That's how it works.
So the films that you made are pretty unconventional. So the movies that you made are very, like, not only not unconventional, it definitely questions the psyche of the society today, right? So is this something that you did intentionally, or is it just something that it's already in your mind? This is what comes to you naturally.
No, I think it all depends on the way you're brought up,
Hmm.
in which kind of neighborhood you are, what kind of school you studied in, what did your parents teach you. So there are so many things. So sometimes you have a rough childhood, sometimes you have a smooth one, but in the end, around when you cross 24, 25, there'll be questions in mind that nobody answered for you.
Hmm.
There'll be some doubts, questions about society, about life that you have never got answers for. So those kind of questions will keep lingering inside, and then especially since we are into films, we are into art, we can definitely question that out. I don't know if you can do it if you are doing some other job. You might
Hmm.
not. Probably you can put a post on Facebook or Insta, but now we have that this thing to put that question out to the public and ask them. So this is the doubt I have inside, do you have the same? So so அந்த மாதிரி வந்து I have a lot of doubts inside. So a lot of questions, a lot of sometimes anger. So definitely, if I make something, definitely I will put forth that, so that I'll want to check whether everybody has it, and if someone has an answer, I would want the answer to.
Like, somebody in the comments has asked, what is your cause for the next project that you're doing, or like what is any inside information that we can get on the next project? What is the question that you actually really want to ask the public right now? Like,
No,
beyond the.
I have I have shot a short film in the lockdown.
Oh, oh, wow,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. So probably I'll release it in next month or so. I'm planning for
Okay.
a release. I'm just talking to a few people. Yeah, that is also somewhere. Yeah. So I've asked question. I have raised some few questions there also in that short. So I did it with a very minimal crew. The last 2 months, the last 1 month, we did like with
Hmm.
5 people. We just finished a 20-minute shot. So that is there in the lineup, and then I'm doing a couple of anthologies for OTTs. I'm doing it in
Oh,
Telugu and in Tamil both. So I think in that way, for next 6 months, I'm engaged. So that's how I see it.
that's great. Uh, Very important question you want to ask you is, as an upcoming artist, or maybe even before you're upcoming, right? Like before you even thought about arts and everything, uh, who are your inspirations? Like watching your movies, I have a feeling that literature has inspired you a lot. Like, like Kadir was inspired by Michelangelo. What is something that inspired you? Like, is there anybody or anything that inspired you to put out?
Uh, yeah, see, I don't have anybody specific as such,
Hmm.
because, yeah, of course, I read and I watch films. If you read like 5 to 6 books, somewhere something just goes inside and sits in your mind. It's like
Hmm.
Inception. The idea goes inside and then it starts growing slowly. You never know.
Yeah.
So one day it'll just come out when you sit and think of a subject where some four dots somewhere in the random they'll connect and then you'll get an idea. So that's how it is.
Hmm.
So this whatever the Kadir, Michelangelo, whatever you said, also it was not something that was I meant to. I had to write it and then bring it down. No, it just like somewhere it was there in my mind and then it just came out. I think that's how it works for me at least. I don't go with any specific agenda when I do anything or write.
What do you think about like YouTube and like as you just mentioned that you were going to release a lot on the internet and you have come up on the internet. This is like a new wave of uh, directors. So how do you feel about the the new wave of directors coming up through internet and like OTT and YouTube?
The thing is, it's really good that we have a lot of gates open now,
Hmm.
YouTube, and then a lot. I mean, new OTTs in all languages, national, international. So it's really good that we are getting we all will get an opportunity in the future. I'm saying that even the new directors, whoever is coming up or wants to become a director, everybody will get a chance. But in this, we all have a platform to put out our ideas. In that process, we should not let go of the kind of content we are giving. So if only it has become very easy for anybody to shoot anything.
Hmm.
It's so easy. You can use your camera, your mobile, and then you shoot something. You can add music in your mobile. You can edit it. You can bring out an output. So that the process has become so easy that everybody wants to get inside, which is good. But in the end, you concentrate on the content, the story, which is what will stand out, not the process, not the execution, not the logistics, not the advancement, the technology, nothing. What stands out is story at last. What story you're going to say? What kind is it going to impact anyone? Is it going to make a change in someone's mind? Probably one, no problem, but it has to do that work rather than we just get carried away with see the YouTube, the OTTs, all that the gates that are open is good, but in the end the content has to be strong. If there are 10 platforms, of course there are going to be 100 directors doing 10 episodes each, but in the end which is going to stand out? There'll be one or two max. So in the end, however the opportunities are going to expand, it all comes down to the content and what you're trying to say, and that has to be solid. Otherwise there is no point in all this digital stuff.
But like as you said, like so much content is being put out. Do you think the platforms are getting oversaturated like this? Like go search up YouTube for like Tamil short films. Uh, there's just so many short films. Will a common viewer be able to get like a quality movie with a search?
I know it's very sad. Yeah, correct. Yeah, we are just dumped with content everywhere, especially in YouTube. You see, like the reason is that because everybody knows that they can make a film easily and they
Hmm.
can put out, which is good. But in the process, we all get carried away with the technology rather than the core and the soul of what we want to say. Yeah. However, the YouTube or the OTT, they expand. In the end, whoever gives a strong content, whoever gives a solid idea that makes people turn and see, that attracts people, that gets attention of people, then only stand. Otherwise, others will just, they'll get lost in the crowd. That is actually the negative point of these digital platforms. You can easily get lost because the crowd is too much.
Yeah, that is the one negative of too many people to be there. That means too many people. There are few people to see. Like the
Correct.
audience gets thinned out.
Yeah.
So, what is your process in getting good content? Like, how, as a writer, how do you get this content? Like, a lot of people we know today aren't being able to produce any art during the quarantine, but you've still been able to produce a movie. So, where does it come from?
It came, see, the last idea which came from the lockdown.
Hmm.
I have made something in the lines of stalking.
Hmm.
Yeah, so because we were all sitting at home, we didn't go out. We were just binge watching. We were in the social media all the time. We keep seeing others' profiles. We keep seeing, peeping into others' lives, what they are doing. So it was more of, we were spending time more on others than us in the lockdown. So that
Wow.
is where
Yeah.
the idea came up for me to, make something out of that. So sometimes certain ideas, they just pop out and then they have to be made in next 2-3 months. Otherwise they'll expire. In the
Hmm.
sense, it might not excite me after 3-4 months. Sometimes there are some ideas which will stand through time for 3 years, 4 years. So I have still a couple of scripts that I've been pitching for the last 4-5 years. It never happened. But still, I know I have hope that someday it will be made. It will still work. So there are two kinds. So as far as short films are made, I don't normally plan with a long time period. Where if an idea comes, I'll just go and shoot it. As far as short films are concerned, I'll not wait for next 1 year, 1.5 years to shoot. But as far as films are concerned, as you know, yeah, we need a producer, money, and everything. So I have to wait for the right chance, opportunity to nail it.
So, because you said this, a short film is very low risk endeavor. There's not much that you put in. There's not much that you get out. But a film, on the other hand, is a quite high risk endeavor. Do you think because of this, you kind of there's this nervousness that comes when making a movie?
Actually, the movie, as if you come to feature film, the process is quite long. So I won't say nervousness. Even if you have nervousness, you will lose it at a point because the journey is too long. It doesn't
Hmm.
happen over a month or a 2 or even 6 months. It takes a year, 1.5 years, sometimes 2 years. Uh, the if you're going to make a short film for like 10 minutes, the same thing, the same process will be extended for 1.5 years. So everything is going to be on a bigger scale. Every small thing you do for a short film will be on a bigger scale when you do for a film. And the pressure is definitely high because someone is putting in, the money.
Hmm.
For example, this short film, whatever I shot, I put in my own money. So I never cared. So I'll shoot it the way I want. I can stop it if I don't want. If I think that if a scene is not working, I'll think for a day and then shoot it later. So I can go the way I want because I'm putting in money and I'm putting in small money. But when it comes to films, it's not that way. You have to, someone is investing big and they
Hmm.
are expecting a return. So you are definitely into a boundary where you can't do certain things. Definitely, especially when a star is there inside. Otherwise, more or less, the logistics and execution part is same. The content wise, it definitely restricts you when you go to big screens. A feature, you can't think like I can shoot anything, I can think whatever I want, I can write whatever I want. So you can do that in feature when you produce. You can't do that when someone else produces, and they're looking for a market, they're looking it for selling the film, taking back the money, the name for the star. There's so many things involved. So definitely there are restrictions. I mean, I won't say no, but if you want to balance that and come up both on the side of the art where you want to say something at the same time what people like. So if you want to balance that, then you have to learn to sail through both.
Hmm. What is this like for a person who's coming into film and a person who's trying to get into the industry? What is one sad reality, in the industry that not many people know of? Like some hardship that not many people know of.
I think the entire process itself is something, not anybody or everybody knows it, especially when you finish a film institute and come out. So you think that everything is going to be so easy. Everyone is going to, come and give you everything in the plate. No, it won't happen that way. So once you're out of the institute, you are going to be again into a dark space where you don't know which route to take, what is going to happen. You don't know where to go and approach, which producer, which actor, which story works, you won't know. So there are so many things that at one point you'll be just pulled down, and probably you'll be pushed to quit the industry. You'll think that, okay, fuck it, I'm not going to do this. So you'll be put
Hmm.
into that state. But still, to learn that, it definitely takes a quite big chunk of time. And especially when they come out of the institute, when they knew, you never expect that. See, even I work for Mr. Maniratnam, I work for Mr. Murugadas. I came out, so I thought that I'm going to get a film easily. No, I took 4 years. It took 4 years for me to even pitch my first one. So even sometimes when you come from the big schools, still, because it's not about the big schools again. You come out of the big school, in the end, you're going to write something what you like.
Hmm.
I'm not going to write like my director, Mani sir or Mughal sir. I'm going to write like what I want, what I like. So it is my taste at last. So you'll just get an opportunity to go and meet an actor, but the actor liking your taste is not something that you have in your hand. It's not under your
Hmm.
control. So if he says a no, you'll again like you'll lose your hope. You go down and you won't know again. See, every time you keep coming back to the first point, it's a problem. Every step you take, you think that you're moving, you'll be pushed back to the first point. Again, you'll be like you have to start from the scratch, start the process again. You will start losing hope on your script. Sometimes, okay, fine, whatever I'm having is not going to work. It's a shitty work. Probably I have to start something new. And if you start with a new script again, it's going to take 6 to 9 months. It's not easy. It's 1 year work. And after 1 year, in the process of 1 year, you should still have hope on the script that it should work. And after that, you start again pitching the producers. So this process is really, really a painful process until you make it big. Until, if I have to say in this cinema term, until you give a hit. Once you give a hit, things changes. If you don't, again the struggle continues. So not many people know. So all we see is just the 10 or 15 people on the top, and we think that okay, we are going to. It's all easy. We can go, we can make a film, and then come up. No, it's not going to happen. If you go and see their past, they would have struggled like more than whatever we have been doing. So once you understand that, if you understand that and come in terms, it's easier actually.
Hmm.
To understand that and come in terms is only very difficult. If you come in terms, you know that okay, fine. So to be very honest, my last film didn't work in the box office. It didn't do properly. So I knew that I'm going to take time for my next project. I knew that it will take time. I knew that to go and convince the actors again now it's going to take time. So I came into terms. So I'm okay now. So even if it is going to take another 1 year, 2 years, I'm fine.
Hmm.
I'm just concentrating on whatever I'm writing. I'll go, I'll pitch. If it happens, happens. Otherwise, I know where. So I'll still, and luckily, this digital thing has opened. So I know that I can keep doing something, if not
Hmm.
for feature. But at some point, I'll be able to do my feature. So the journey is really tough. People have to understand that. If you understand it, it's easier to go through. Otherwise, we get stuck.
What is so through all these struggles? What is your drive? What is the hope? Like you have an end goal. Like this is somewhere I have to reach. Like this is what you call success.
I think if I'm busy, it means I'm successful. That is how I see it.
Hmm.
I want to keep doing something, make something. See, whether it is it's people like it, don't like, it's a hit, it makes money. I mean, that is all secondary. But as far as I keep getting chances to and opportunities to make something, to bring out my ideas, to keep telling stories, I mean, I'm okay in that way. That is how that is where my satisfaction comes. So whatever I have inside, the whole point is I want to tell it to the world. Whether they accept it or not is different, but I need to get a chance to say it out to the world. If I keep getting it, I think I'll be happy.
So is there a place that you want to reach? Like is this one thing that you want in life? Like this is like your goal.
uh, I want to make films in all languages. I don't want to,
Okay.
yeah, stop with Tamil. How much ever time it takes. I mean, next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, I don't mind. But I don't. I want to sell my ideas, all through the country, not in just one language, which is what I'm looking at least now. That is my goal or ambition, yeah, whatever.
That's nice. One more thing I like been running on my mind ever since I saw Lakshmi. Is Lakshmi actually based on the Sirupati Garam? I've always wanted to know.
No, it's not based in. Why Silapati Garam?
Because if you switch the roles, Lakshmi you could say is Kovalan and her husband as Kanahi. He just sits at home. Kanahi just sits at home. She actually goes out, and then Manimehale is Kadir.
Okay, that's a very good comparison, but no, it's not Silapati Garam. Actually, Lakshmi, the idea came up from this one of this Paulo Coelho's book. It's called
Hmm.
11 Minutes. I don't know if you have read it.
Nah.
It's just it's one page from the book where
Oh
the
wow.
yeah, it's that's what I said, right? When you read something, something just goes inside and then it keeps disturbing you, and somewhere it comes out. So the character of a librarian that comes in that book. So that was inside my head for a long time, and I thought, what if I write something for a Tamil society here? And that is how the idea of Lakshmi came in. Plus, whatever I have seen, my life, my experiences, the kind of neighborhood I was brought up. So all that come together is what Lakshmi is.
Hmm. That's actually quite nice. That just one page that kept running in your mind, and then you put it into a story.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. What is your role as an artist like? What like your movies have always tried to say something to society, as you said. What do you think is the role of like not just you but an artist in society? Why do we need artists? We know why we need engineers, doctors. What is the point of like artists? What is the point of us being here?
I think it's artists are the only people I think if I'm not exaggerating, at least they are the ones who actually connect with you personally. I don't know if any other. I'm not putting down other jobs, other work, but this personal connect, you get only through art, any form of art, not just cinema, even if it is painting, music. The way it affects you, the way it impacts, is very personal. It affects your sleep sometimes. It disturbs your mind. Technology doesn't do that.
Hmm.
Technology or any other information related things, it will never disturb you as such, but only art can do it. Any form of art. So for that purpose, we all work the whole day. Generally, to 9 to 6, we go for some job, we earn, we come back. But there should be some point where we spend the time and energy for ourselves, and that comes, when you connect with any art, some art, any art. When you do that, definitely, you know, you feel fulfilled. That is the role of artist as such. I don't know if I'm talking too technically, but still, yeah.
No, no,
This is yeah. I think for me, without if there are no artists, no art, I'll feel dumb totally. I need something to connect the end of the day,
no. Hmm.
myself with something else from the outside. Even if it's a music, if I want to listen to a music, it stirs my memories, it stirs my past, the day to day, and then it keeps me, it freezes time for some time, and again we get back to work. But to get back to work again, we need that time, that hold or emotion from something external, which definitely art gives, and artists do that.
Hmm.
அதுக்காக கண்டிப்பா வேணும்.
ஆமா. Yeah, why movies? Like you எதனால பண்ணிருக்கலாம்? நீங்க சொன்ன like if you're done through music, why films?
Because it's very simple. My dad was பயங்கரமான ஒரு படம் பார்க்குற ஆள். ஸோ
Hmm.
சின்ன வயசுலேருந்து, ஸோ ஃப்ரம் மை சைல்ட்ஹுட் he is he's no more now. He was a
Sorry for that.
very very தீவிரமான ரஜினிகாந்த் fan. So I remember from the time of Talabadi until Padayappa, I watched every Rajinikanth film first day evening show in Albert Theatre.
Wow. Okay.
So
Huh.
that is how my interest for cinema came. That is where it comes in from my father. So knowingly or unknowingly, he incepted the idea inside. So that somewhere it was inside that I was attracted to films, and that came out when I was studying in my college. When I was in my college, second or third year, I decided, okay, I want to get into films and make films. But yeah, the reason is the my father. The credit goes to my father.
That's nice. So, as you said, college. Did you study film in
Yeah,
college?
I studied. I studied mechanical engineering in Crescent Engineering College,
As
and
every
then yeah, correct, as every engineer. And then I worked in Wipro for 3 years. Then I quit that and I studied cinematography in Mindstream
Mine.
Film Institute. Yeah. So I finished, and after that, when I finished it, luckily I got a chance to join director Mani Ratnam. So from there it started.
How important is education when it comes to uh, like arts? Like, do you have to go to art school, or do you have to get into like learning arts from professionals to even get into the industry, or is that like something that people just do?
Will you ask the same question to become a doctor or an engineer?
I don't know. Doctor, I wouldn't go to a doctor who doesn't have a PhD, because like he won't have a license. Especially for an engineer, he won't have a license. But I don't think like to be an artist you need a license. So
No,
do you have
it's not
to?
about the license, it's about the knowledge. See, you
Hmm.
want to get into a field, definitely you need to have that knowledge to become that person, right? So
Hmm.
the problem is here we take art for granted. We think that we don't need to study. We think that we can, it just comes inside. We can talk all that, but I think in the end, definitely you need to study or learn or spend some time in that particular thing before you want to become one. It can be, you go and join some director work or go to a film institute, study, and then you put into practice for the next 2 3 years before you want to get into big screen. But you need to spend that period of time for any work, and I will say definitely for art, it's better if you go to a film school or work for someone. Working
Hmm.
for someone is definitely the best experience you can get. You work for 2 3 films, the end of third film, you will know the A to Z of the execution, the logistics of filmmaking. You come out and then now you write your own story and then put forth, use that knowledge and then you get into the business. So definitely it is needed. It will help you when you study and come inside. When it's like when you study and come inside, you do a job. For example, a particular work takes 2 years. When you study and come inside, you can finish in 1 year
Hmm.
because you already know something. Otherwise, if you're going to go with the learning on the go, then it is going to take a lot of time, and it is going to be definitely a strain. So, better to know the basics, probably little advanced, and then come inside. Let it be anything, even if it is direction, cinematography, editing, any department you take. It's always good to have the knowledge and then get into the field.
So I mean, somebody's asked in the comments also, and once you finish your course in Mindscreen, how welcoming was the industry? Like you said, you got the job as a with Mani sir. How welcoming was the industry to you?
When I finished Mindstream, luckily, the day when I completed, I got a call
Wow.
and I joined the next day. So there was no period where like after Film Institute I struggled. No, nothing. I didn't struggle at all after Film Institute because at the time he started Ponniyin Selvan.
Hmm.
It was this Ponniyin Selvan which is going now was supposed to be done like 10 years back. So they started. It was in the production, and then I joined the the team during that period. So when I joined inside, I didn't know what the outside world was. So from directly from the institute to another, it's like I am like so Manisha school is like I am. So I went there and then I started learning there. The real test came out when I quit Manisar and came out. I finished Kadal and then after that I quit, and that is where the struggle started. The real struggle, it is not nobody welcomed. Nobody welcomes you, by the way. Like, the question itself is like nobody welcomes you. It's never welcoming. You will be like you will have no idea, no clue where to go, whom to talk, how to start. So you will be you probably you might be having certain privileges when you work for the director. When I work with Mani sir, of course I had contacts with a lot of actors. So I'll be thinking that okay, when I go out, I'm going to pitch a script and then get them inside. But once you go out, nobody gives a fuck. Like you are nobody. After you get out of the school, you are now a director. You are going to be on your own. So probably they'll just give a chance to listen to your script once, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be, definitely on the list because நம்மள மாதிரி there are other 100 and 200s of assistant directors. at the same time coming out of other directors. So everybody comes with the same, hope. They all come with big stories. So for an actor, for an artist, or for a producer, it's not that okay, he's coming from this school, so definitely he'll make. No, in the end, it's about what you're selling, the idea you're selling. If that works, you get it. Otherwise, it keeps on going until you make it work. It keeps on going. So the question for you, whatever you ask, it's not welcoming. You will get screwed from all the sides, and it's in your hands to paddle your own canoe and then come out of it.
Just endure.
Yeah, endure. Correct. The endurance is what. It's a big lesson.
So why did you quit, like, with money, sir?
After Cuddle, to be very honest, I thought that I was not a good AD. I was never a good AD.
Oh,
I can't. I was. I used to screw up big time on spot. I used to
oh.
get like lashings from all the sides. So I thought I can't assist. I can't assist anymore.
Hmm.
I came to that point where you will definitely come to a point like when you assist, you will know you will have a saturation where you can't assist. After that, okay, fine. Let me go and write for myself. Let me go. It's okay even if I'm going to struggle. Let me go out and struggle. But I can't be in this. So I came to that saturation and I thought I have to quit, and then I came out because Cuddle was really physically and mentally a very, very straining film.
Hmm.
The way it was shot for like almost 80 days in different, very tough locations. So by the time I completed one film, I felt like, okay, fine. I know the logistics now. Let me go and write. So that is what I thought, and then I came out.
Uh, what is a factor that is holding, like, upcoming artists down? Like you said, you didn't have much struggles there, but you struggled in the industry once you came into the industry. What is some other things that are keeping, like, the people that you saw down? Like, you passed out of the batch, but I don't think the entire batch is where you are right now. What are some things that are keeping upcoming artists down?
Yeah, if I want to take my own batch, out of the 15 people in my batch, I think only three of them are in the business.
Okay, wow.
Three or four maximum. I don't know. I mean, I don't even have any clue what others are doing. I don't know if they are in cinema. So the problem is the waiting period. Again, it's gestation period, the waiting period, whatever you take, you have this industry, this business makes you wait. It will never give you, when you want it, or whenever you think that it will happen. It will never happen. But it doesn't mean that it will never happen. It will happen. It will take its own time. There are a lot of things that has to come and fall in place for a particular project to happen, and that might take 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You know, during that period, if you're not going to lose hope, well, you will cross that and then you can make it. But half of the people here, they don't have that patience, and again, I'll come to the same point: endurance. They won't. So they think that once, if you see a lot, you come across a lot of rejections. There are a lot of rejections. There are a lot of no's. They shut doors on your face. That happens. That keeps happening. But nothing is personal. That is where, it's not personal. Nobody has anything personal for you. They are all in the business. They all looking at the business, and then they take decisions. Sometimes you are a collateral damage in that, so we can't do anything. So you need to understand that, and then. But if you are very strong, you know that you have a strong idea, an idea that will be liked by all, it can be made into a film, it will definitely happen. At some point, it will definitely happen, but we don't know which is that some point. We have to wait for it. If we are not going to wait, then it means that there is no point in whatever, the goal or ambition or struggle, whatever you have gone through so far. You have studied something. Because I know a lot of people who have finished the course in film institutes, and after that they have even worked for a couple of years with some directors, and after that they have quit, because only after you come out of the director, the whom you work with, the struggle starts. When the struggle starts, when you come to know that nobody is welcoming you, automatically, your motivation, your morale, everything goes down. You think that, okay, I'm not fit for anything. It's not going to work out. Nobody likes it. So you will come to the point where definitely you'll be pushed out of the boundary and people will make you quit.
Hmm.
But you should not quit. You should not quit. You just have to hold on. You have to hold on. You don't. There's no other go. You have to hold on.
But like, have you ever seen a very tragic story where like somebody that you thought is very skilled just could not like endure, and like if like you thought like if they just endured for longer, if they just did this one more step, few more years, like we could have gotten some really great artist.
If someone has gone down, in the sense, not as you say, I don't think I will have any respect for them. I'll not have any hope for them. If
Hmm.
someone is not able to wait, then why should I think that probably if he has waited, he would have got a chance? I mean, you didn't wait, so you can go out, you can get out. At least someone else will come and fill in your place. So that is how I see it. So I have never felt sad for anybody who has quit. So if you want to quit, then I think it's your thing. You can
Your
quit,
choice.
go out. I'm not this. We don't have to feel sorry for them. That is their choice. I mean, because there are hundreds and thousands of people outside there waiting, for opportunities inside for years. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm nothing. Like I was there. I was pitching the script for like 4 to 5 years, which I made it. But I know people who are still there for 12 years, 15 years, 20 years. They are still inside, and they are still not able to make it inside. If you ask, like, are they not talented? Definitely, they are talented. Don't they have any good scripts? Yes, definitely, they have good scripts. Then why did it happen?
Hmm.
As I said, there are too many things that control in this. See, if, for example, if I have been to IT sector also. I have worked for a company, so you will know at least like 5 years from now what you're going to be, 10 years from now what you're going to be, how you have to, which route you have to take, and what you will become. So you will know that. But in cinema, you won't know. There is no other thing to measurement here to know which route to take, what to do. So you just have to go with the flow. You just have to go with the flow and then come out on the other side. And again, it's not consistent.
Uh, so when you're making this leap, right? I think you studied cinematography, but then you did direction.
Yeah.
Uh, and then you were a AD, and then you quit AD and then became a director, and then you made your short films and then your feature films. When you were making your feature films, was there this when in Rome, do as Rome does mentality? Like you had to do some, you had to cut out some parts of your story because uh, it was too much for the audience, or the decision makers thought that they couldn't have shown that in the movie, or some aspects that you had to cut out that you didn't want to do.
Of course, it happened. In both my films, it happened.
Ah,
Uh, one is cut out certain portions. One more is add certain portions. That is also there.
okay,
So
sorry,
both
yeah.
happened. Yeah, yeah. Both happened for me. So in both my features, yeah, certain portions which I was not very sure if I should have it in the film, but I was supposed to have.
Mm.
So I didn't have an option. So I was pushed to have. In certain portions which they thought that it is not a feature film thing, like people might
Ah,
not be able to accept it, it might not cross through the sensor. So all that was there. So certain portions I had to cut off, certain characters I had to add. That also happened because those characters will be liked by people. So
okay,
all this
yeah.
happened. I mean, it's a mixture of everything. It's not just cut out. It's like add, subtract, divide, multiply. Everything was there inside.
Do you think this is changing slowly in our industry? Like, we are getting more lenient, more liberal with our censoring.
I don't think so. It is getting more tougher and tougher.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, talking about censorship, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they have recently, a couple of days back, I read a news that there are going to be very strict censorship rules for even Netflix, Amazon, and other OTTs. I mean, what is the point,
Oh,
man?
yeah.
Then, yeah, so
That is
they
that
are,
is sad.
the people are getting more and more sensitive. The
Yeah.
20 years back, I don't know if they were this much sensitive, or 25 years back in 80s or 90s. Now people have become extremely sensitive to ideas, thoughts, whatever you want to express. ஸோ ஒன்று யோசிச்சு யோசிச்சு பண்ண வேண்டியதா இருக்கு. பயமா இருக்கு இது வந்து சம்டைம்ஸ் ஹவு பீப்புள் வில் டேக் இட். ஸோ தட் இஸ் வை they're bringing in the censorship to OTTs also. I don't know. The whole point of me going into OTT is to see something out of box that I
Yeah.
don't see in the features. So if there is going to be censorship for OTTs also, then I don't know how it's going to pan out. But yeah, it's not getting lenient. Definitely, it's getting tougher and tougher. It's getting stronger. I think there are too many forces to stop you from saying what you want to say. So that is how it is going. I don't see any hope after this.
Like I just thought like we're seeing more like this new age liberal movement in Tamil cinema. Like before we couldn't have seen like a movie like how do I put this? Super Deluxe or Pariyerum Perumal or Aruvi, where today I think people are actually going out and watching these movies. Maybe the censorship is like a big aspect, but do you think the audience has changed? The audience has become more
Yeah, definitely they have. I think again the credit goes to the OTTs and the kind of access we have to the world cinema. People have started seeing the world cinema இப்போ ரொம்ப ஈஸியா கிடைக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிச்சு. Everybody can see it from their laptop, from their system,
yeah.
and Netflix and Amazon. So we are now exposed to a lot of ideas, different ideas from different filmmakers from different parts of the world. So we are not stuck to one thing. So அப்போ என்ன ஆகுது, automatically films like Super Deluxe or whatever Arivi you said, the Pariyerum Perumal, எல்லாமே வந்து we welcome it because the way we see films are also changed now. Especially in the last 10 years, it has changed a lot. பயங்கரமா மாறி இருக்கு. ஸோ வி லைக் ஆல் தோஸ் சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி வந்து வரும்போது வி வெல்கம் இட். அண்ட் சி ஆல் தோஸ் ஃபிலிம்ஸ் ஆல்சோ டெஃபினெட்லி வுட் ஹவ் கான் த்ரூ லாட் ஆஃப் ஸ்ட்ரகிள்ஸ் அப் டு ரிலீஸ். வி நெவர் நோ. ஏன்னா மேக்கிங் அ ஃபிலிம் லைக் பரியரும் பெருமாள் அண்ட் தென் ரிலீசிங் இட் அண்ட் தென் டேக்கிங் இட் டு ஆடியன்ஸ் இஸ் நாட் அ ஈஸி திங். ஸோ தட் இட்ஸ் அ ஃபென்டாஸ்டிக் ஃபிலிம், நோ டவுட். பட் நீங்க அவர்கிட்ட ப்ரொடியூசர் போய் கேட்டு பாத்தீங்கன்னா தெரியும் ரஞ்சித் சார்கிட்ட அவர் எவ்வளவு கஷ்டப்பட்டிருப்பாருன்ட்டு அந்த படத்தை முடிச்சு ரிலீஸ் பண்ணி அது வந்து பணம் பாக்குறதுக்கு எவ்வளவு கஷ்டப்பட்டிருப்பாருன்ட்டு. நம்ம வந்து படம் வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் ரிலீஸ் ஆனதுக்கு அப்புறம் அதை பார்த்து கை தட்டணும், சூப்பரா இருக்கணும், ஃபேஸ்புக்ல போஸ்ட் போட்டோம், அதெல்லாம் ஓகே. பட் அந்த படத்தை கொண்டு வரதுக்கு எவ்வளவு கஷ்டப்பட்டிருப்பாங்க. Definitely he would have struggled a lot. Even Super Deluxe, you talk to Tyagaraja Kumar sir, you'll know what kind of struggles he went through to finish the film and then release it. So Arvi also, it took a lot of time for the producers to release it. So the three examples whatever you have told, they have specific difficult stories behind each film to go and release. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கண்டென்ட்டை வந்து ரிலீஸ் பண்றதுக்கு வந்து தியேட்டர்ஸ் வாங்குறதுக்கு ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டிருக்காங்க. So it's not at all easy, but at least people have changed their mindset now. Their perspectives have changed now. It's not the same anymore. So we are not stuck to one kind of subject genre where I need only this, இதுதான் எனக்கு வேணும், இதான் பிடிக்கும், அப்படி இல்லை. Because we are seeing a lot of things outside YouTube, a lot of WhatsApp forwards. So even that add to the way you start seeing things. So in that way, definitely it's a good changeover in the last 4-5 years, and it is going to be better in the next 4-5 years. That is also there. But the struggle to get it to the audience, I don't know when that will ease the producers. It is going to take some time, definitely.
What would be a driving force to change this censor mentality? How do you think we should change this?
I don't know, because a lot of us, we are all holding to our values a lot. We are personally, we hold to our values, our thoughts, or theories, ideologies, everything. And we keep holding so strong that when someone says something about it, when someone criticizes about it, we get so angry. So we don't think that, okay, fine, this is something that probably he might also have an opinion about. He's giving his opinion. The third person, the fourth person is giving some opinion. Fifth person is giving some opinion. Everybody has an opinion. I don't know. Probably we need to it might change or it might get worse. We never know. 10 years back or 15 years back, I don't know if we had this kind of mentality what we have now. So the way we are so sensitive to things around, everyone we get so angry, we fight back, we go and put angry posts everywhere, we make sure that everybody sees us. இதெல்லாம் வந்து முன்னாடி இல்ல 10
Hmm.
years back. இப்போ இருக்கு. இன்ஃபேக்ட்
Yeah.
இப்போ போக போக இன்னும் ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கும். Because everything has come to the mobile now. Everything you can just access the entire world from the mobile. So we are not going to stop from putting out our opinions. When opinions come out, when opinions clash, definitely this is going to happen. When this sensitive thing, when all these fights happen, to maintain this balance, the censorship is going to cut off things to maintain peace and this thing around within people. So I don't know if this is going to change at all. I don't know. I don't see a chance of changing and becoming better unless the root of the root is the thought process of நம்மளோட people's the thought process. அதோட ரூட்டை போயிட்டு நம்ம மாத்தணும். I don't know if that can happen. So probably the next generation, if whoever they are growing up, if they change and then they grow up, then that can happen. Otherwise, I don't know if we can go and change the people of the current people's mentality.
Well, at least as artists, we hope we can make that change. We can bring that change.
I don't know. I mean, you can make content, but I don't know how you make that change. You can definitely make content. You would want to, take it to people to watch it. But if people are not ready to watch it because you have made some content that that insults this thing, then you can't do anything about it.
I mean, definitely, you can definitely talk about this. I'm pretty sure you're.
No, I'll tell you one example. Let us take, for example, Lakshmi, the Lakshmi short
Exactly.
film, wherever it came. So I was accused, or I was blamed that I had showcased the middle class in that way. I said no, it was not that way. Actually, it was a life of one particular girl. That is all. One story of one particular girl. I never generalized anything in the film anywhere. I never said that. In fact, I never said what she did was right or wrong. I just left it to the audience to decide. But the kind of reviews I got, the kind of abuses I got, everything said that I had particularly targeted the middle class, and then I've done something. To be very honest, I am from a middle class family. I have grown up in that neighborhood, and I wanted to tell a story about it. That's all. I nowhere wanted to generalize anything. So this is what I said, being sensitive about it, holding on to something and then you don't want to live it. And then when someone talks about it, little off the track, then you just want to make it a big issue and then create attention. Creating attention is also one part. Apart from definitely, it's your ideologies, your this thing. Apart from that, it's attention also. But this is what I said. This happened 3 years back, and I don't know if it has reduced anything in the 3 years, and I don't know if it will reduce in the next 5 years.
That's true. That is true. I'll agree. Like, I watched Lakshmi because of the controversy. I'll be very honest. I saw so many people talking about it. I really wanted to watch it. But after I watched it, I was just thinking, I really don't understand what is the controversy. Because, as you said, there's no generalization in the movie. You haven't really said anything, anybody who's doing right or wrong. It's just like a slice of life of like the three people's lives. And still, so many people took out their time in their lives, like took out time in their day to sit and comment, to sit and write about how much they didn't like the movie. Like if they did so much for a movie they didn't like, they don't do the same for movies they do like.
Correct. Yeah. It just touched everybody's ego, I think. It's like especially men's ego. The film touched the men's ego, and so people started feeling insecure.
Yeah.
The thing that they know, which has come to the public out in the form of film, so they started feeling insecure, and then they started reacting. That is how I saw it. So, but nowhere I generalized anything. In fact, I didn't glorify anything. I didn't generalize anything. I just made a film and just gave it out. In fact,
Yeah.
in certain places, I had actually tried to play safe. But I didn't go completely 100% out there in the film. I know in certain ways I have definitely played safe to make sure that there is a balance. அதுக்கே வந்து இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ரியாக்ஷன் வந்துச்சு. So yeah.
Wait, if it's not too much to ask, what is something that you had to play safe? If you don't mind answering.
Yeah. So the thing is, if you see that, according to me, if I'm going to write a climax for Lakshmi, I would say the girl should choose whatever she wants to. But I didn't do it. So that was not playing safe, but still, it was. I got a lot of comments saying that the kind of climax, whatever you have kept, it is again bringing down women from a particular sect of the group of people. I got this particular comment that so if she wants to choose a better life, then she should just go with it. Why is she not doing it? I had my own reasons that she's from this kind of family, she's kind of this kind of neighborhood, from this society where she can't take decisions, which is again, when I'm trying to justify it that she can't take decisions, it's still wrong, right? I'm trying to say that she can't do it. Probably I could have taken the other route and say that she has chosen her own life, she has left the family, she has gone. That is also one more kind of climax I could have kept. But in my thoughts, though I had that, I had to stick on to certain things. There'll be a dialogue where she says that what she's doing is wrong. அவளே சொல்வா நான் பண்றது தப்பு அப்படின்ட்டு. So I had to bring in that. So even though, see, we can't say right or wrong there, but somewhere the character, what she feels about it, I have to bring it. So there are places where in sub-layers I have played safe, definitely. It's not, I won't say that definitely not. But அதுக்கே வந்து இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ரியாக்ஷன். ஸோ அவுட் அண்ட் அவுட் நம்ம எழுதணும்னா என்ன ஆகும் தெரியல.
ட்ரை பண்ணி பார்க்கணும். Actually, if you watch Irevi, have you watched the movie Irevi by Karthik Subaraj?
Yeah.
So in Irevi there is one very nice dialogue where Bobby Sima is brought up from class and he will ask if you switch up the gender roles in for Kannahi and Kovalan, would society still be okay? And that's why I thought about Lakshmi. I thought Lakshmi is the example that he was quoting. If all you did in Lakshmi is just switch up the husband and wife, and we don't hold the same level of respect for Silapadikaram and Lakshmi for this sole reason.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, because we are living in a very patriarchal society, நம்ம பண்ற தப்ப வந்து பாத்தீங்களா, இப்ப தப்புன்னு வருது. நம்ம பண்ற ஒரு விஷயத்த வந்து ஒரு பொண்ணு பண்றா அப்படின்ற போது நம்ம எல்லாம் வந்து பொங்கிடுவோம். Like how can she do it? Why? No, like, but we have seen hundreds of films where இந்த மாதிரி படம்லாம், like we have seen so many, right, where a husband goes to one more person apart from the wife ன்றது like காலங்காலமா படத்துல தான் பார்த்து வரோம். அப்பெல்லாம் வந்து we never thought that we have to go fight for it or blame the director. No, we were, in fact, we accepted it so easily, unknowingly, unconsciously. We just accepted it because it is there inside. But if we are going to switch roles and say that she did it, we get so sensitive, we get angry, we start comparing it with our sisters, our mothers, our family. So all that happens, we start feeling insecure. So like அந்த மாதிரி ஒருத்தன் காமிச்சிருக்கான் படத்துல அப்படின்னா, அந்த மாதிரி அப்போ ரியல் லைஃப்ல நடக்குதுன்றது எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும். ஆனா வந்து அதை அக்செப்ட் பண்றதுக்கு they are not ready to accept it. So like, because I have come across a lot of stories, real life incidents, stories similar to Lakshmi. So it's not that I've done or written something that was not there at all. எதுவுமே இல்லாத ஒன்று புதுசா நான் ஒன்றும் எழுதல. In fact, you won't believe, after Lakshmi, I got so many comments personally in my inbox saying, I am Lakshmi. From a lot of women saying, you have just taken my life. You have shot my life. என் படத்தை பார்த்த மாதிரி இருக்கு அப்படின்ட்டு நிறைய பேர். I got not one or two. I'm not exaggerating. I'm very serious. I got such messages also. So it's not that. The problem is, we start comparing, we start feeling insecure, especially Lakshmi la vandu problem or sect vandu from women also, they all completely blame me, they all accuse me, abuse me and all that.